Hey everybody, it's Dan Sims again with Success by Day, and today I'm going to be talking to you about another passage from Lessons of History by Will and Ariel Durant. In Chapter 6, Morals in History, the authors write, "We must remind ourselves again that history, as usually written, is quite different from history as usually lived. The historian records the exceptional because it is interesting, because it is exceptional. If all those individuals who had no Boswell had found their numerically proportionate place in the pages of historians, we should have a duller but juster view of the past and of man. Behind the red facade of war and politics, misfortune and poverty, adultery and divorce, murder and suicide, were millions of orderly homes, devoted marriages, men and women kindly and affectionate, troubled and happy with children. Even in recorded history, we find so many instances of goodness, even of nobility, that we can forgive, though not forget, the sins. The gifts of charity have almost equaled the cruelties of battlefields and jails." So what the authors are saying ultimately is that history as it is written differs greatly from history as it actually happened. So there are two things I want to talk about with this. The first is the news, because a lot of people read and watch the news. They hear all of these terrible stories about things happening, and they think the world is a crappy place. It's not. The news is made of stories that will get people to read them. And for some reason, we are naturally drawn toward the negative, which is something that you need to change. And I think the first step to that change is realizing that not everything is negative and terrible and as horrible as it seems on the news. And that's just a minor point that I wanted to make. So the second point, which is more important, is related to the overnight success stories that you hear and the success stories of the ultra successful people. Their history was written after they were successful. And you can take millions of people who have applied the same principles that they have, although in an unsuccessful way, who failed and who quit and who didn't continue working as those ultra successful people did. You know, what you need to remember when you read about these incredible people who do incredible things is that they're a very small portion of the whole picture. That's not to say that they're not noteworthy. They certainly are. But that doesn't mean that they're the majority. These overnight success stories, which aren't really overnight success stories, I'm sure you've heard the quote, "It takes 6 months to become an overnight success." These overnight success stories are such a slim portion of reality. And what you need to do is realize that that is not going to happen. That's how history was written. It's not how it happened. The ultra successful people worked and worked and worked and learned and learned and learned and applied all of that knowledge to what they were doing, and that's how they became successful. So you might read Steve Jobs' biography where it seems like he just tinkered with computers and then became an ultra successful, ultra famous, ultra rich, wealthy computer buff. But that's not how it happened. There were years and years and years of hard work, and I'm sure there was plenty of anxiety, fear, stress, failure mixed in with everything. So it's great to get inspiration from people like that, from people who have succeeded and who have done what you're looking to do. But you need to understand that that is how history was written and not exactly how it happened. You know, one of the things I talk about all the time is you need to expect failure. On your way to success, it's not an easy path. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of pain, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice, all of these things. So these glorious stories of all of these people who just did what they loved and found incredible success, that is not exactly how it happens. That's how it's written, not how it happens. So the ultimate takeaway from this Success by Day is just be prepared. Be prepared for things that you don't see in the glorious stories of people who have already succeeded and made millions of dollars and invented incredible products and done everything that you want to do and that they wanted to do and that anybody would want to do. Just expect difficulty, because it's going to happen, and it happened in their lives too. It just might not have been written down. So that's your Success by Day for today. I hope that was helpful. I will leave a link in the description to this book and to my notes on this book as usual, and I will see you next time.